Hello, welcome to Convo Literature with Kate podcast. My name is Brian Kate Ortaste, your English lit buddy. In today's episode, we are going to uncover the beauty of imagery found in poems and literary works. What is imagery? The first thing that comes to my mind when I hear this word is a creation of a clear picture in one's mind. It is a language used by poets and other writers that allure the readers to create imaginations. It appeals to the reader's senses. However, imagery is not just about visual representation. It can stimulate the reader's emotions and physical sensations. In Francis Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, Gatsby believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It eluded us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow, we will run faster, stretch out our arms farther, and then one fine morning. So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Reading these lines, I could imagine a future that is out of hand, visualized through the green light. As a reader, you would evoke an image of oneself running fast like Gatsby, stretching out for something that he cannot get a hold of. There is also an image of a boat carried along by a current, back and forth battling to move ahead. Now, let us delve into the 7 types of imagery. The first type of imagery is called visual imagery. It is an experience of visualizing an appearance of a being or anything mentally without its actual presence. This type of imagery is a tool for authors to share the astonishing look of the characters and sceneries. Simply put, the sense of sight is the main target of visual imagery. It involves color, size, shape, and pattern. In Act 1, Scene 1, page 7 in A Midsummer Night's Dream, a famous play written by William Shakespeare, Helena said, "Call you me fair? That fair again unsay. Demetrius loves your fair. O happy fair! Your eyes are lodestars, and your tongue sweet air, more tunable than lark to shepherd's ear." Helena described the beautiful appearance of Hermia, which makes her stand out in the eyes of Demetrius. She compared Hermia's eyes to the beautiful stars that sparkle. The next type of imagery is called auditory imagery. It appeals to the reader's sense of hearing. It does not only entail sounds of music and noises, but also includes pure silence. A concrete example of this is found in Act 2, Scene 2 in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, when Romeo said, "How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears." This line expressed by Romeo is giving an auditory image of silver sweet voices of lovers, comparing it to a sweet melodic music of love and affection. Next in line is olfactory imagery. It describes the ability to encounter the sense of smell when the appropriate stimulus is absent. Emotions and memories start piling up when the sense of smell is present in olfactory imagery. It involves fragrance, scent, and odors. A good example would be Act 3, Scene 1 in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Bottom said, "Thisbe, flowers with sweet, odious smells." In this scene, Bottom describes the sweet scent of flowers as odious, which means extremely unpleasant, instead of saying odorous, which means giving off a smell. Another striking imagery is called gustatory imagery, which focuses on the sense of taste. It is a factor of food cravings that is very catchy to the readers. One unremarkable example would be the line of Romeo in Act 5, Scene 3, page 227, line 120 in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. "Here's to my love, O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick, thus with a kiss I die." In this line, Romeo is drinking the poison in Juliet's tomb to be with her and dies eventually. The fifth type is what we call tactile imagery. It focuses on the aspect of touch. Tactile imagery includes feelings of touch, temperatures, feeling of movement, and texture. For example, in John Keats' poem entitled "To Autumn," there are 3 lines rich in tactile imagery, and I quote, "Until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has o'erbrimmed their clammy cells. Who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store? Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on a granary floor, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, or on a half-reaped furrow sound asleep." The tactile imagery is evident in the warmth of day, clammy cells, and soft lifted hair. On the other hand, we also have kinesthetic imagery, which appeals to the sense of motion or movement of readers. It can be depicted in the movement of the poem's speaker or objects around them. In William Wordsworth's literary work entitled "I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud," he has painted an image of beautiful daffodils in a dancing motion. Finally, the 7th imagery is called organic imagery. It is the type of imagery a poet uses to convey hunger, thirst, fatigue, and other internal emotions of love, despair, and fear as well. One perfect example is Haruki Murakami's The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. And I quote, "You might think you made a new world or a new self, but your old self is always gonna be there, just below the surface. And if something happens, it'll stick its head out and say hi. Even I myself can feel that there is an ineffable sense of oneself while reading Haruki's masterpiece." So, that's it for today's episode of Convo Literature. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode.